Sun newspaper is reporting through their political editor, Tom Newton-Dunn, who's travelled with Mr Haig on a trip to Afghanistan over the past day or so. Mr Haig is quoted on the front page of The Sun as saying, "Talks do happen. We have worked hard behind the scenes." Now, it was only an hour ago that the Foreign Office revealed that Mr Haig had been on a trip there today. He's visited all the usual places, Kabul, spoken to President Karzai. He's been talking about what the Foreign Office calls the handover of responsibility for security to Afghan forces in 7 areas of Afghanistan. He's been to Helmand Province, Camp Bastion. As for talking to the Taliban, well, this is not completely a surprise, because back in May, shortly before President Obama's visit to the UK, Mr Haig was asked on Dermot Murnahan's show on Sky News about a speech in which Mr Obama said that it was time to talk to the Taliban. And this is what Mr Haig said in response to that.
There is no military-only solution in Afghanistan. Our military efforts are absolutely crucial to creating the security on the ground in Afghanistan, to letting the Afghan forces build up the strength that they need to look after their own security after 2014. But of course there has to be a political process as well to achieve a settlement in Afghanistan. So we agree with the President about that. But we also agree that...
So Mr Haig there agreeing with President Obama about talking to the Taliban. He also echoed something that Hillary Clinton had said about talking to the Taliban earlier in the year. And Mr Haig's message tonight is that the withdrawal of troops is going to continue because he's talking about the timetable of withdrawing British troops. He had lengthy talks today with President Karzai. Mr Haig actually went to Afghanistan with the Foreign Minister of the United Arab Emirates. There's Mr Haig today talking to President Karzai, and that was in Kabul, and there was talk about the political process. This is what Mr Haig has been keen to stress, the need for a political process as well as a military solution. And he also, on the question of withdrawal of British troops and reducing the numbers, Mr Haig had this to say today about when British troops would leave Afghanistan.
By 2015, we will not have troops here in a combat role or in anything like their present numbers. But we will be friends for the long term with our expertise, with our economic cooperation and development aid. And it is, of course, important to plan ahead for those things now. And it is good to see the progress that is being made, both on transition in a place like Lashkargah, which we visited yesterday, and also the discernible economic progress that is being made in many parts of the country.
So Mr Haig there is talking about economic progress and the sort of progress that is being made towards what he describes as the handover of responsibility to Afghan forces. Now, the other development tonight is that ahead of President Obama's statement on Afghanistan, which we expect in a couple of hours to the American people, Number 10 Downing Street have confirmed that David Cameron and President Obama have had a phone call. I understand it's a video phone call earlier on this evening to discuss the situation in Afghanistan, to talk about troop numbers, which Mr Obama is going to be talking about, and possibly also talking about some of the numbers regarding troop withdrawals of British troops there towards what Mr Haig's there talking about, no UK troops in Afghanistan in combat roles by 2015.